and the ability to combine multiple interdependent data sets to reveal insights and inform operational strategy in real time. So this is already the state that we are in. We can't go back to that past of analog systems and delays. But as you move into big data management, it brings opportunities as well as challenges. And we'll look at these opportunities and challenges. By harnessing the power of data and digital correctly, the industry will support data-driven decision-making, optimize its operations, and realize new market opportunities. The challenge? The maritime industry has historically been conservative in adopting innovations.
Yes, sir. Sir,
benefits of digitalization in the maritime industry. We've looked at why we need them. But what does it bring? Efficiency for reliability and profitability. It's been frequently correlated that efficiency is related to profitability. So you need digital technologies to improve the efficiency of the maritime transport chain. And this will bring improvement in the supply chain, and this will drive profits for the operators. Real-time information can help track and predict increases in economic activity. Modern technologies ensure efficiency. And if you have efficiency, then you are most likely going to have resiliency of the industry. One thing that has been utilized to improve the efficiency of shipping operations, especially around the port, is what we will look at, how it came about and the status of that process. And that is the electronic data interchange, EDI. Another benefit that digitalization affords the maritime industry is sustainability and conservation. And our general talked about the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. And it is required that we have to carry out our activities in order to ensure sustainability and conservation of the earth, which is the only home we have. Digital technologies help monitor and improve environmental performance in order to cut down emissions and protect vulnerable marine ecosystems. An example is if you have good information available to the ship at sea, the ship can effectively know when the berth that it will utilize in a particular port will be available. And instead of sailing to the anchorage and waiting and running the engines of the vessel and polluting the environment, the multiple benefits can be derived by using slow speed. So you slow down the vessel, and by slowing down the vessel, you emit less of the greenhouse effect, and you also utilize the technology to make savings, because less fuel, less money to be paid out by the ship owner. And the industry will be happy for it, and the environmental performance will be good. On time, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development has continually asserted that optimization of operations by digital technologies lead to reductions in emissions and harmful substances, as well as reduction in ecosystem damage. This is just to reinforce what we have just talked about. And another very important benefit of digitalization is in the elimination of paper processes. The use of paper causes deforestation, environmental pollution. The burning of paper contributes to global warming. And so if you use digital technology, if you eliminate the paper that we are so used to using now, we are going to have multiple gains. Multiple gains, for example, reduction in deforestation, reduction in environmental pollution. And when you burn this paper that we are using in the offices, you are setting carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which again will trap the heat and cause global warming that we are so concerned about. Another area, and possibly the longest area where the industry has benefited from digitalization, is in safety and security. We're going to look very briefly at this. Maritime safety and security is crucial to the shipping industry, and digitalization has been utilized effectively, is also used for navigation. And a very important equipment that you have, very useful both for the ship and for the shore, is the Global Maritime Distress and Safety System. The Global Maritime Distress and Safety System has multiple benefits to the ship and is also requires still far behind. Okay, we're going to speed through because I know that in this afternoon there are so many people that are trying to doze. Okay, we will see what we can do. 10 minutes is too short though, but I'll see what I can do. Automatic engine room equipment and environmental protection equipment are digital technologies that have been introduced to shipping, but particularly focusing on ship operation. Okay, I just have an example of a beautiful ship's bridge. Maybe you are not seeing it so well, but you can see the radar, you can see the EGDs there, you can see the GMDSS here. All these technologies are brought into the master's bridge and they are integrated. A lot of the information that are available on that bridge are also shared with the port authorities and with the shore. Okay, so we will speed through this. I cannot complete this discussion without pointing to areas where the key technologies that are available today are very valuable to shipping. And I don't know if you are seeing this. You may not be seeing it well, but you can see that Internet of Things that are very popular in our discussions now are very useful in
Should I turn off the light?
in remote monitoring of the vessel and machinery and cargo. And you can find data. Data is useful for all aspects of the business, planning, operations, commercial, support functions. You have artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is also used for all aspects of the shipping business. You also have cloud solutions. You have e-platforms. I mean, establishing a good website will afford so many things. Online programming and cargo booking. And then you have blockchain, very useful for e-learning, electronic bill of lading, and it's also very good for customs clearance. Now, a little pressure because of these 10 minutes that Samuel has brought. This document has been sourced from RASA et al., 2022. Okay. Why do we have challenges? Because people have concerns. Challenges to digitalization in the maritime industry. Generally, the operators perceive that digitalization will bring high cost and they will also introduce high risk. Generally, it's understood that shipping brings low profit margins and the operators are always focused on cost reduction. They are also reluctant to test new technologies on assets. They are concerned about data sharing, and that's another challenge because they prefer to use data protection. Why? Because of fear of cyber attack. Cybersecurity is a principal concern of the operators moving from analog or non-digital systems to digitalize maritime industry. The role of the IMO in the facilitation of international trade. And I think I can just shorten this and see how I can save time. But this is a critical thing that I needed to discuss. The International Maritime Organization has been involved in the facilitation of these maritime transportation that we are talking about from the 60s. But even then, there were no sophisticated electronic gadgets. The IMO's intervention in the maritime industry is critical because this will allow for uniformity of practice. So early on, when there were no digital technologies to deploy in the industry, the IMO succeeded in using the facilitation convention, so-called FAL convention, in publishing the maximum number of declarations that ports should request from ships, and also the maximum number of certificates that should be requested. So if you, 10 years ago, you went to the IMO website, you will only be availed of the list of declarations that any ship should submit to any country for the purposes of clearing that vessel when it visits to the port, and also a list of the certificates that should be requested. As we made inroads into digital technology, the FAL Convention was also amended to allow for electronic transmission, electronic sharing of these declarations and certificates. And the FAL Convention made it that electronic certificates should be treated exactly as paper certificates, provided they complied with the provisions that are in the annex to the FAL Convention. But what we have achieved today, and what I wanted to pay attention to, and I will move into that section, is what is going to become mandatory from January 2024. Because the FAL Convention has again been amended to demand that ports around the world should implement what is popularly referred to as the maritime single window for exchange of information between ships and the ports. So let's move into the picture that gives us a feel of what is involved. I should have also mentioned another digital technology that is used by the International Maritime Organization to facilitate the sharing of information amongst flag states. It's called Global Integrated Shipping Information System, the GCIS. Every flag state supplies relevant information to the Global Integrated Shipping Information System, and this is made available to those users of the information. Even you, the public, you can create an account on the GCIS and you can access the GCIS. But the responsible organization in every state, being the Maritime Administration, has a responsibility to supply relevant information to the Global Integrated Shipping Information System. And I have just showed the content of the GCIS as you have it there. The role of the IMO still in facilitation of international trade through digitalization has come to the maritime single window. So I'll take this slide. And since 2019, the FAL Convention made mandatory the electronic data interchange between ships and ports to exchange information electronically. But in January 2022, amendments to the FAL Convention made the maritime single window mandatory. Port authorities are to establish, maintain, and use single window systems for electronic exchange of information required on arrival, stay, and departure of ships in port. This is critical. This is very important because this is the singular, most effective action that is going to revolutionize digitalization in the maritime industry, because everybody has to exchange data using this single window, this platform. Why is this platform so important? Because we've already said that one of the challenges to using digitalization in the maritime industry is the fear of attack, the fear of having a trustworthy platform for exchange of information. And so the IMO has volunteered to bring recommendations on how to set up the maritime single window and ensure its integrity. Okay. So it's a one-stop service environment that covers maritime and port administrative procedures, such as port entry, departure declaration, notice of security report, port call business information, and port call optimization. We may not have the time to talk about port call optimization, but it's just to achieve so-called just-in-time arrival and departure of the vessel in the port. Other related information exchange between actors of the port call process nationwide, and these are all targeted at an enhancement of port operation. But this is the way you have the maritime single window. The maritime single window is expected to be the platform where every user of information and everybody who has information to send to other people will send it to a single platform, which will be reused. Maritime single window could be the national single window, but it could also be subject to the national single window, where you have NSW. You could also have the trade single window, which combines the customs in this trade single window being at the national level, and other systems will report. You see this side, cargo trade, and you see this nautical and maritime. You have private operators, and then you have the public operators. All these information are required to be sent to the single platform, and the way the platform is designed is to ensure its integrity and allay the fears of the users of this information about cyber attack. This is what the IMO aims to achieve from January 2024. And everybody is racing towards complying with these mandatory requirements. Okay. Samuel, make sure you don't come back. Maritime single window. In some countries, an MSW may also serve as a national single window or trade single window. MSW is called by different names in different countries. For example, in Asian countries and Japan, maritime single window is called port EDI system. There are other mechanisms, models for setting up single window. For example, in Nigeria, the Nigerian Port Authority is collaborating with the International Maritime Organization to set up what is called the port community system. In effect, simple, is to receive information through a single window and disseminate that information to all users without people having to duplicate sending information. In Angola, the country collaborated with the IMO and Singapore and established what is called SWIFT, Single Window for Facilitation of Trade. So different names in different countries, but what you need to understand is that those who were reluctant to utilizing technology in the maritime industry will be forced by this process to go digital. So this is just in effect the framework for sharing the information you have, the stakeholders, private stakeholders, you have the public stakeholders, everybody sends information here, and the information is again shared to the public people, and to the private people. And the public people includes Coast Guard, Harbour Master, Port Control, and on the other side, you have shipping lines, agents, freight forwarders, and so on and so forth. But this is what is coming. This is what is going to force the industry to digitalize. Need for digitalization in the maritime industry in Nigeria, so we may not have all the time. A lot of things are happening and necessitating the use of digitalization. Again, we've already talked about the high cost of shipping goods to Nigerian ports, the inefficiencies that you see all around. NIMASA too, General already mentioned, there is collaboration between NIMASA and the Ministry of Defense and the Navy. And they have brought up a lot of projects. You talk about the C4I, you talk about the Deep Blue project, and these systems have been integrated with the Navy's Falcon Eye. And the effect is to be able to share data, but the additional thing that the Deep Blue project has afforded is in the procurement of assets that can be used in reacting and responding to threats within our maritime domain in order to ensure maritime security and in order to facilitate trade. Efficiency in maritime administration, we have been using a lot of technologies, I've already said, to carry out flag, port, coastal state responsibilities. The IMO GCC is one. Development in blue economy is another area that we have to utilize technology. It's very important. And then we also have to produce skilled maritime workforce and digital seafarers. Otherwise, those guys coming with IT skills will replace some of us who have been trained in core maritime, but we are non-compliant IT-wise. Need for digitalization of Nigeria's ports. Okay, let's just jump these ones. The only thing that I will mention here is that In 2019, the Nigerian port, in trying to respond to the challenge of shipping goods to Nigeria at very high cost because of all those congestion. Everybody who goes, or everybody who lives in Nigeria understands what happens around Apapa in particular. And they introduced this e-call-up system, which sounds like the name of a director I know. They call it ITO e-call-up system. Did you share your name with them, Director? It's now been suspended, though. From August of this year, it's been suspended. But it was reasonably effective in reducing the congestion. The reason given by the MPA is that it is part of efforts to streamline and optimize operational processes within the port ecosystem. The MPA has also automated a lot of things. If you go to the MPA website, which I'm going to flash through now, you have that payments have been automated. Truck scheduling, we just talked about the ETO system for operating the virtual parks and vessel monitoring through digitized shipping positions. If you go to the MPA website, you'll be able to know which ships are in which berths. And this would have been in paper form, and it would be very difficult to get this information in the past. Okay. So that's a capture of the MPA website homepage, and you can see right there. Here, you can check the positions of vessels that are within the MPA ports. That is all the ports in Nigeria. And you have the ETO system I just told you has been suspended. Maybe it will be. And then customer portal where you can make payments. This website is part of digitalization. That has enabled automation of the processes in the MPA. And that's what we want to take note of. So this is just a capture of the shipping positions content of the MPA website. So things are happening. Things are happening. Again, need for digitalization of Nigeria's port operations. We will not leave without understanding the direction in which we are going. And a statement by the managing director of the MPA, Mr. Mohamed Bello Koko, on digitalization of Nigeria's port. He said, and I'm going to take it, realizing that automation is the pillar of port efficiency, we are working assiduously under the technical guidance and consultancy of the International Maritime Organization to deploy the port community system, which will afford us the platform needed to develop a cocktail of digital solutions that can make ships more energy efficient, reduce pollution while at sea, at the same time ensuring global competitiveness of the Nigerian ports through eco-friendly services. Okay. We've also had a lot of digitalization in maritime administration. NIMASA has digitalized a lot of its processes, and key amongst it, and that's what they strike you when you go to their website. They tell you that you can verify all NIMASA certificates. And when we say NIMASA certificates, we're not talking about seafarer certificates. Remember that NIMASA issues so many certificates which are carried by ships, and they are using them for trading. And one of the things that you can do for the maritime industry globally is to enable those who are checking the certificates, especially my guy that is sitting at the back and doing port state control, that you are able to verify the certificates that vessels are carrying. That's what NIMASA has also achieved. Okay, they are also doing a lot of things. That the C4I is one project that is using digital technologies, the command control computer communication and information system, the integrated national security and waterways protection infrastructure, popularly referred to as the Deep Blue Sea, and the coastal radio stations, which are the requirement of the Global Maritime Distress and Safety System. Okay, website of NIMASA showing verification of NIMASA certificates, digitalization in the maritime industry. The DG of NIMASA has also acknowledged the value of digitalization in the maritime industry and was captured in that statement. Maybe for the respect of the DG, permit me to go through it. Ultimately, seaborne transport depends on a secure and trustworthy flow of information. In this new reality, access to quality data is essential for ship managers to make decisions, act on market opportunities, and meet new requirements. A well-digitalized system leads to faster access to information, improved customer experience, increased productivity, lower operational cost, improved decision-making, improved information security, higher mobility, and automation of business processes, amongst others. Okay. This, I don't know whether you would like to leave this one. We save the best soup for the last, isn't it? Is it what they say? Let's look at digitalization in maritime education and training. And we're going to use the academy's example very effectively. Maritime education and training is critical for the industry, and digitalization in maritime education and training is why we are here. That's why we're looking at the prospect and challenges to the skilled maritime workforce. Digital transformation in maritime academy has been achieved by the rector, Commodore D. Efedwa, and how has it come? I'm going to take you through that journey. Okay, I'll try to represent it, but be careful, please. This is not management's position. This is the position of the presenter, a presenter who has been part of that system, a presenter who has been part of that process from the beginning until the point of retirement. So I can tell my own story. Okay. Digital transformation policy implementation in Maritime Academy of Nigeria started with the establishment of a robust ICT department with relevant facilities, commissioning of a 40 stations ICT center, employment of relevant staff, issuance of laptops to all cadets free of cost, registration of cadets with Nautical Institute and MRS both in the United Kingdom, training of lecturers and other relevant staff in multimedia presentation, teaching pedagogics, IMO Model Course 6.0, and that's training course for instructors, installation of smart boards with multimedia projector, computer projector, and other teaching aids in all classrooms. Mandatory digitization of all course notes for presentation with the projectors. Again, it continued. Mandatory utilization of smart boards for all instructions. That's what is happening today. Deployment of the digital technologies for online course delivery and examination during COVID-19 pandemic. You will not forget that this academy is one of the institutions around the world that did not lose the academic session, because digital technologies were deployed immediately for online learning in this institution. Digital technologies were utilized in even administering examinations, and so we had our graduation effectively in 2020 post-COVID. Okay. Training of another area that digital technology has been deployed in the academy is in the installation and usage of all the simulators that are required for training of seafarers in Maritime Academy of Nigeria. The simulator instructors were trained, accreditation for those courses have been achieved, and digital certificates have been introduced by Maritime Academy of Nigeria. Installation and utilization of 10 digital conference rooms. As you are probably aware, this event is being transmitted live. It's being transmitted live. So I thought you would clap for the academy for that. I thought you would clap for a very clear example of digital transformation. And it is not only from the Rotimi Amechi Auditorium, the Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi Auditorium, that we can achieve this. I'm sure this institution has about 10 lecture theaters and conference rooms from where you can do exactly the same thing. And during graduation, we usually link this auditorium to other auditoriums and will continue to broadcast live. The digital transformation policy implementation in Maritime Academy includes the establishment of an e-library which is functional, and people are being able to access online materials through the e-library, standard website and web portals for automation of processes, relevant courses for cadets contain content that will equip them in digital technologies, and these include introduction to computing, computer applications in shipping, information technology and management information system. A statement by the rector immediately after the COVID. He explained how this transformation was achieved. And I've already given you the roadmap, the way management followed, training people, equipping people. And this is what digital transformation is. You remember we said people are more important than the technologies. And this is what was utilized. The cadets were equipped with laptops. They were registered with professional bodies, exposing them to online lectures. And all these people-oriented activities achieved digital transformation under the Commodore Duja Efedua's administration. No wonder he said, no wonder he was quoted to have said by O'Shea, we are the first to start online lectures. We were able to hold 20 classes simultaneously in various courses. Their exams were done online. We have a good ICT team. So COVID-19 didn't disturb our academic session. Because before now, they have always had online lectures for distance learning with the Nautical Institute and IMARES, the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology, both in the UK. And they are all well equipped. Every cadet has a laptop. Please, a round of applause for the rector. He has done so well in this area, and it's a model for the maritime industry anywhere. Anywhere. Okay, when I say anywhere, please don't look at me as the Dr. Kevin O'Connor you have known in Maritime Academy of Nigeria. I've had the special privilege of going to so many places as you saw some part being read to you. I've had the opportunity of being almost everywhere, either presenting a lecture or on some study programs. So I understand where this administration has taken this academy, and it cannot be taken for granted. It has to be appreciated. Please, another round of applause for the rector. Today, booking for mandatory courses in this academy is paperless. You have to book online. Today, when you have completed the booking for the mandatory courses and you have paid your fees, you are able to generate a get pass. So you don't need anybody to come and write any paper as get pass for you. That get pass is generated as you complete your payment. This is digital transformation. Today, cadets register online. Today, admission in this institution is conducted online. So this is a clear example of moving digitalization into the digital transformation realm. Okay, certificates, just like NIMASA, all the certificates that are issued in the academy, they are automated. You have automated verification feature. So if you have a barcode on your phone and you put it on the certificate, it will tell you the name of the owner. This is utilization of digital technology. Digital technology promises a lot of opportunities, and for the sake of time, we would simply read through them. Enhancement of job performance, speed, accuracy, and automation. Enhancement of job performance of the maritime workers. They will be able to work faster, they will be able to be more accurate, they will be able to utilize automation in carrying out the activities. And when we are talking about this automation, look at it in the scale of what is happening around the world in the ports. Acquisition of digital ICT skills, as automation and digitalization is being adopted into the industry, the maritime workers, the skilled maritime workers have no other option but to imbibe digital technologies and other skills that will enable them to utilize these technologies. It will establish resiliency of the maritime industry and security for existing employment. Increase employment opportunities. We are now talking about African Continental Free Trade Area and the opportunities it brings. You need to be digitally equipped. We are talking about blue economy and the opportunities that they present to the maritime workforce. You have to be digitally equipped. If you are not, almost the same thing that has happened in this academy will happen to you. If you like to accept it, you accept it. If you don't like to accept it, take note that the ICT people have made some people redundant in this institution. because they came in with skills that are able to take away people's jobs. And if you don't get yourself equipped, the graduating cadets, you are going to have new entrants into the industry that will come with these fast fingers and they will take away your jobs. So you have to equip yourself. And it brings also the possibility of working from remote locations, including working from home. What are the challenges that we have to overcome? Equip yourself, re-equip yourself, and re-equip yourself in order to avoid the new entrants to the industry who are better equipped in IT. New entrants to the maritime industry, workers with high information technology skills and the possibility of replacement of non-IT compliant maritime workers is a challenge, but you can overcome every challenge if you mean to. Absence of content in modern digital technologies, including AIs, Internet of Things, blockchain, in some of the courses that are relevant for equipping our workforce. And then there will also be pressure on continuing professional development because the existing workforce have to undertake courses in IT and digital technologies to upskill themselves in order to retain their jobs. Okay. Need for urgent digitalization of all segments of the maritime industry is one of the recommendations I have made. And we also recommend that the MPA should ensure Nigeria's compliance with the IMO's mandatory requirement for the implementation of the maritime single window for data exchange in all ports with effect from January 2024. Every maritime training program should include courses with content in digital technologies and data management. There are many people in the maritime industry who don't pass through formal training, especially those working on board ships. So professional development courses, including IT and digital technologies and data management, have to be organized for them by professional bodies. Okay. Conclusion. We have taken time to look at the benefits of digitalization to the maritime industry that carries about 90, if you look at everything comprehensively, about 90% of the global trade by volume. So the safety of operations, the efficiency of operations are required for reliability and profitability, as well as sustainability and conservation, and the resiliency of this maritime industry. And this is what we will have to take home. The impact of radar, IDs, GMDSs, and all other technologies that you have on the ship's bridge on safety and efficiency of operation in the industry have been discussed. And we have also looked at the prospects and challenges of digitalization in the maritime industry to the skilled maritime workforce. This is where I can end with a thank you to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow.
So the paper will be shared. The paper will be shared. Will be shared with the cadets. And there are references. At the tail end, we didn't show the references. You can look at the references and read more about digitalization and understand that as you are entering the industry, you have to equip yourself. If you've been taking the courses that we've offered to you for granted, understand that the industry is going digital. And you also have to become a digital maritime worker. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Can we give Dr. Kevin O'Connor every Sunday an applause? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Wow. You agree with me that that was enormous and very, very educative. We deeply appreciate you, sir, for that very well thought out lecture. And I'm very sure the cadets are properly aware of what it is that digitalization in the maritime sector is all about. I think also that Dr. O'Connor, having now been a senior citizen, like already referred to, is eminently qualified to speak about this topic because whilst he was here, he worked very closely with the rector in establishing most of the things that we see around here and ensuring that the school is properly digitalized. One more time, a round of applause for our guest lecturer, Dr. Kevin O'Connor. Also, the rector has also done so well to ensure that this school is properly digitalized, as already enumerated by our guest lecturer. This school is properly digitalized. And he did say we are currently live on all, on the Facebook, on YouTube, and other ways. Cadets have their laptops, a lot of things that basically shows that there is digitalization going on here. And we have the rector to thank for that. It shows that it's not just talking, it's also doing the talk. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
While that lecture was ongoing, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Coordinator of Academic Affairs, Mr. Tawa Dunya. Please, a round of applause for him as he stands up for recognition. Thank you very much for coming.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to move into the next section, and it's going to be an interactive section. To anchor this segment, please help me make welcome to the stage the chairman of the Maritime Lecture Subcommittee. Please put your hands together for Mr. Gabriel Eto as he comes forward for that section. Please, can you keep clapping for him, please? Thank you very much.
Yes, okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to believe that we've been having fantastic and wonderful time. It has been a time of learning all over again. Kudos to our speakers. This whole thing was packaged courtesy of the rector. And I can tell you, interacting with the rector will reveal to you that he's a man that loves academics. He's a man of high intellect. So anything he packages promises to offer you deep knowledge. I will just add my voice before we do the interactive session by way of saying that what is the difference really between traditional ocean economy and the blue economy? The oceans have always been with us. How is it that suddenly we just woke up and realized that there's blue economy? What is it all about? So, the traditional ocean economy uses what we call linear business model. Linear business model. And does not make full use of what is available in the maritime space. That is the traditional ocean economy that we've been practicing over the years. Then we now woke up and realize there's blue economy. So what's the blue economy? The blue economy is a non-linear business model which uses the optimization principle with the goal of maximizing the benefits from the ocean, the use of the ocean resources, subject to the constraints of existing technology and know-how. That is what the blue economy is all about. It subscribes to the optimization principle. It uses everything in the ocean. Nothing goes to waste. Everything is of economic importance. That is what the blue economy is all about. Then look at it. The economic diversification agenda of the federal government of Nigeria cannot fly if it is based on the traditional ocean economy. Hence, they need to embrace the concept of the blue economy. The country's monocultural economy can only be diversified if the vast ocean resources of the nation are harnessed maximally. For example, this is where I'm going to now. I want to shock you now. For example, Singapore and Japan have effectively harnessed the potential of the inland waterways. We have a highly undeveloped inland waterways, generating substantial revenue. Singapore generates up to $7 billion US, while Japan boasts of at least $9.1 billion from the inland waterways. I know where the shock is. In contrast, Nigeria barely makes $5 million, from its vast inland waterway network. This is an evidence that there is vast opportunity in the blue economy. Then look at it. Ironically, the combined size of Singapore and Japan's inland waterways is less than 20% of Nigeria's expansive inland waterways network. Did you get that? Waterways together, Singapore is less than 20% of Nigeria's own. And yet Nigeria is only making $5 million, while Singapore is making $7 billion US. And Japan is making $9.1 billion US. So what are we talking about? Currently, with the capacity to potentially generate up to 6 trillion naira in an annual revenue and create over 200,000 jobs annually in the short term and contribute up to 16% to Nigeria's GDP in the medium and long term, the significance of the maritime and the marine and blue economy cannot be overemphasized. Finally, the creation of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy is aimed at providing the catalyst for a more diversified and sustainable national economy. The first speaker made a point. He said, we have a window of opportunity in the inland waterways. Look at the trip between Oro and Calabar, for instance. How competitive is it? That is one area where you can delve into. Look at Lagos. Lagos is said to be an aquatic, they say they are aquatic splendor. But what is the business of Lagos, or what business has Lagos to do with traffic jam when we have waters all over the place? Lagos has no business with traffic jam. The inland waterways are grossly underutilized. So, cadets, there are windows of opportunities in the blue economy. If only you open your eyes. If only you be willing. If only you be willing. Where there's a will, there's what? There's a way. The blue economy presents vast opportunities. Too numerous to mention. We'll be talking about this blue economy for many years to come. Nigeria is one maritime nation where we have failed to utilize our maritime resources. Why is Nigeria monocultural in nature? Nigeria is operating a monocultural economy when we have such vast maritime resources. So as you are going out there, like Dr. O'Connor has really said, you have to be ICT compliant, up your game in terms of acquiring knowledge. Just keep acquiring knowledge. Look, let me tell you something. The world does not give to anyone what they expect. The world gives you what you demand for. And what you demand for depends on what you are equipped with. So be equipped. Keep learning. Keep acquiring knowledge. And it is only a matter of time. The opportunity will present itself to you. The opportunities are there. And God will take you to that place where you are meant to be. In Jesus' name. All right, so we are now entering. You can bring them forward to the MC, or you can just say it. We have no more than 10 minutes from now to wrap up. So we have 10 minutes for interactive session. Okay, do you have any questions? You can't be exposed to all of this and have nothing to ask. You don't have any area of clarification. I can't believe it. After almost 3 hours lectures, no question. Any question? Okay, give him the mic. The speakers are very much on ground to answer your questions.
Please walk toward the mic stand and ask your questions, please.
Okay, where is you walking towards? I need Sammy. So, okay. It's not. What is he saying now? Good morning, sir.
Speak out now.
My name is Innocent Sebastian.
from the electrical department. So, my question, where Admiral FDR made mention of their private state support and its development. So, my questions are there provisions set in place to build our career as an electrical cadets in the project? Are there provisions set in place to build our career as an electronic cadet in the project of the sport? Thank you, sir.
So did you get the question? Okay. Any other one? Quickly, let's have the question so that we can do everything at once.
My name is Cadets from the Department of Nutrition. Dr. Okona was talking about rebuilding ourselves in ICT so that those ICT gurus will not take over our job. My question goes like this. What is the academic, like all those academic what is their plan for future careers in order to build them on ICT, in order for them to use them?
Is that all? Is that all? Want to draw the curtain now? Okay, if that's all, I think. Are you coming? Oh yeah, quickly. That will be the last one.
Good morning, sir. My name is Cadets from the Department of Science. And my question is for the first speaker. We know the enforcement of Cadets Act in Nigeria enhances the opportunity of the maritime workforce. However, what guarantees exist for the future seafarers that issues like mismanagement of funds and slow response to security problems in terrestrial water would persist with the introduction of new phase of growth? Thank you.
What did you say? Say it again.
What guarantee exists for the future seafarers that issues like mismanagement of funds and slow response to security problems in terrestrial water would persist with the introduction of the new phase of the Capital Act? Thank you.
They carry that thing away. Give me this seat. Destiny, don't put too much close to each other now.
Sir, the first speaker talks about the implementation of the new Cabotage Act,
Okay.
which is the blue economy. So, and it talks about problems like funding, insecurity, and in my own experience, funding, the problem in funding is mismanagement of fund, and insecurity is slow response to security team when it comes to emergency. So we know the Cabotage Act will enhance the opportunity of incoming seafarers, but what are the assurance that the same problems we are facing won't just upgrade as the act is in place? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, allow me to start with the last question.
All right, sir, go ahead.
On cabotage, corruption, opportunities, and what the Cabotage Act has lingered all this while because of inconsistencies of policies. So what could bring that to bear for the opportunities available will be that the Ministry of Blue Economy must come out with policies. I think the minister will be around a couple of days. I hope we'll be able to tell him, as one of the beneficiaries of his ministry, that he needs to be busy with putting down policies now, so that by the end of 2024, We have policies and structures in place to administer the Ministry of Blue Economy. The cabotage acts are contributions by those who own vessels in Nigeria towards a particular purpose for shipbuilding to improve on global maritime fleet. But because of the inconsistencies of this, it has not been implemented. My hope is that with the new ministry being in place, we'll be able to run the ministry by consistent and good policies anchored on good governance, putting round pegs in round holes, employing the competent and not the mediocres. If not, we'll roll back to the decadence that we are coming out from. That is the essence. Cabotage Act, when implemented, should be acquired, but we will have ships being flagged for Nigerians to man, to build, to operate. It will bring about opportunities for the maritime workforce. It will improve our overall GDP. Maritime workforce, presently we are looking at not more than 7,000. I give you the figure of the Filipinos, 350,000. That is where we're able to engender the figures and open up the opportunities for skilled, digitalized maritime workforce, courtesy of Dr. Okona. Okay? Let me go to Ibom Deep Sea Port. In the last 8 years, we've been struggling and we've gotten the approvals. We are also asking that the states, as committees, as committee members, we're asking the state and local government to begin to improve on skilled powers, skilled manpower. I am sure a lot of you will be involved in the process of establishing the port, because the state will need you guys, you skilled guys, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, divers, underwater welders, all sorts. We're digging into the earth to lay foundation for the port, and we're going 20 meters. It's going to attract the post-Panamax vessel, which you know now are the ones carrying 1,000 containers, which means that the deep sea port and the industrial city, well established, will be a hub for other maritime ports within Central and West Africa to come in here to take their cargoes. So for you, maritime workers, there's a huge opportunity. For those who will be on board, it's an opportunity for you to fly west and the Central African coast. Of course, we hope that the state will have the political will to go on and lay the foundation and establish it. It's a dream that must come true in your generation. It must, because it's going to open up a lot of vista of opportunities, both during the construction and after the construction phase. So the opportunities are available.
Thank you very much. Adebayo, I think, I heard that name, is the one who asked the question about what the Academy will be doing to prepare future cadets for the digitalization in the maritime industry. You couldn't have it better. When I was saying, if you don't get digital technologies, people will replace you, I could not have talked about the cadets in Maritime Academy of Nigeria, because as soon as you come into the academy, as soon as you are admitted into this institution, you are given a laptop free of cost. Is it true? What is that? You are being given the power to digital technologies. And there are many places that you have access to the internet free of charge. You are also afforded the e-library, and you have access to online and digital resources. You have courses that are giving you content to prepare you for the critical elements of digitalization. So you are taking courses depending on the department you are. Management information system, You are taking courses on information technology. You are taking courses, data management, and computer application in shipping. You couldn't be better equipped. The only ones of you that may be affected are those who are never serious. And you know we have been part, we are all together now. We know some people are just looking for how to escape. And they don't take their lectures seriously. But if you utilize all the facilities that are available to you in this institution, you couldn't be better prepared for the digitalized shipping industry. For those who are in the seafaring side, the institution has installed, got accreditation, and is operating the most digital technology simulators you could have anywhere. Take that to the market, I'm telling you. So, before you graduate from the institution, you have the opportunity of working with the best simulators that are required for training of seafarers. So what do you need? You need to understand how to use the EGDIs on board for your voyage planning and execution. You have a bridge system which is with the best technology. Radar, APA, 12 simulator courses covering different activities that you have for ship operation, whether at the deck side or in the engine side. You are equipped for that digital technology era. It is those that are not serious amongst you that may be threatened. Is that okay, Adebayo? I can tell you.
All right, thank you. For our speakers, please let me add one or two things to what the Rear Admiral said. As per cabotage regime, cabotage was copied from America. It has been in operation for over 100 years. When it came to Nigeria, we turned it upside down. One of the issues bedeviling cabotage regime in Nigeria is Nigerians fronting for their foreign partners, because it's supposed to be purely Nigerians, operating it. But there are foreign people that are behind the scene. They are operating for these foreigners. That's one. Number two, the indiscriminate granting of waivers. The creation of the marine and blue economy was what we have been campaigning for so many years. If air transport can have a ministry of its own, what stops the maritime industry from having its own industry? His own ministry, right from time. But so it has now been created, and I can tell you, there is a new broom, and it is sweeping, and there's a new order. You can be sure it will not be like best as usual. Things are changing, and I can assure you, your future is secure. Okay? Your future is secure. Put your hands together for our speakers one more time, as I invite Dr. Lawal to come to the stage for...
Thank you very much, sir, for that time.
Yes. We have a wide angle as he's going up. Okay. He hasn't come up yet. Okay.
Please, can we put our hands together as we make welcome Captain Omore for a contribution to what has been going on here. Please, can we put our hands together for him?
Okay, thank you very much. I stand on the existing protocol, acknowledging the rector, the staff, and the presenters for this great outing. I just want to chip in on the question that was posed on the cabotage fund with respect to corruption. As a one-time director of cabotage in the master, I think I can give you a little more on the fund. So far, let me use the word distributed. Nobody has been given that fund. But I can assure you what they have in place is such that that fund cannot be mismanaged. What do they have in place? It is the bank, what they call the primary lending institutions, that will recommend a beneficiary to be given that loan. So the bank will customers, and the bank contributes a part of it. NIMASA contributes a part of it. And that loan, you are actually not owing the government. You know, when people are owing the government, they always will think they can actually escape. You are actually owing the banks. It's the bank that will come after you for the repayment. Of course, you know what banks do when you owe them. So that's one of the, I would say, one of the fences that have been put in place, such that when that fund is given, repayment, because it is the bank that will come after you, not the government. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. My assignment here is to give the close standing on the existing protocol. We want to thank the management for giving us this platform, the opportunity to showcase what the Maritime of all academic institutions remain the quality of academic performance in terms of research. And the management have looked forward. Can we clap for the Rear Admiral Akpan and Dr. Kevin O'Connor? What the Rear Admiral has done is to make the auditorium today. I want to believe that both staff and cadets can discuss briefly, even not in depth, but they have the full understanding of what blue economy entails. Not just the benefits, but the challenges. Thank you, sir, for presenting that paper. God bless you, sir. And for the digital transformation, Academy is the best case study. We are not bragging. Academy is the best platform, and I stand to be corrected. During the COVID era, I am a researcher. There was no institution in Nigeria, be it private or federal, that conducted examination except Maritime Academy of Nigeria. That is the essence of digital transformation. Thank you. I want to commend the cadets for coming early. Can you please clap for yourself? And I want to believe that there will be another robust presentation tomorrow. We have received the paper. The speaker is here with us, and he will be here again tomorrow. And I'm talking of Captain Sunday Umore. At that point, we'll be looking at the essence of career development. Please, 10 a.m. is the starting time. There's no African time. And as I round up, I want to pray for our speaker. If you looked at two of them, there's something that I noticed. I don't know if you noticed such. I'm very sensitive to my environment. They are putting on the same color of suit. We never mention the dressing code. And that means that where there's Spirit of God, there's liberty. I pray for you, sirs, the liberty of God will go with you to your destination. In Jesus' name. Thank you, everybody. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. Wonderful closing remarks. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is bringing us to the close of today's event. And as rightly been mentioned by Dr. Lawal, tomorrow this event continues by 10 a.m. I think the cadets know the time they are supposed to be here. They are not supposed to be here by 10 a.m. Of course, you know what time to be here. So we want to thank you for your cooperation and your early arrival today. We hope that this continues and even better tomorrow. Once again, thank you all and the Lord bless you. So we'll see you tomorrow. All right.
Very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for your participation. To our most esteemed invited guest of honor, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, and the Rear Admiral Akron, thank you very much for your participation. Please, we are all expected to maintain our sitting position while the please, we would like to be uprising. I'd like to request that we all be uprising and we take the national pledge for the closing prayer.
Please, let's be uprising for the national pledge.
Let's all be uprising. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are about to take the national pledge. We will be taking the national pledge at the count of 2 for the closing prayer. 1, 2.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity and uphold her honor and glory. So help me God. Amen.
Please, all cadets are expected to remain in their seats while the invited guest of honor, please have a group photograph outside with the management staff on ground and a selected number of cadets as well.
Over to the studio for light.